Today we're going to be talking about adjusting your runs for you, especially if you're type A like me and want to follow a plan to the letter. So stay tuned. Hey there, Wrinkled Runner here. I'm a running coach from Buffalo, New York. And if you are a new runner, or even if you have been running for a while, you may be like me and like to follow the book, so to speak. Being in training is a lot of fun and has taught me a lot about running, but because I like to check off all the boxes, I have a hard time not doing exactly what a running program told me to do. No matter where you are in your running, there may be times that you need to take an extra rest day or not run as fast or take a walk break. The trick is actually allowing ourselves to do that sometimes. If you've ever trained for a race during the summer, you know how miserable that can be. And yes, even here in Buffalo, the summers can be hot. Some mornings we have no choice but to adjust some of the mileage or paces. Especially my husband, who loses a lot of hydration, he needs to make sure he has water and his bottle of Noon. And even still, we keep track of his heart rate and we slow it down or walk if he's starting to crash. There have been times we've pushed it, and looking back, we realize how absolutely dumb we were, and we could have been in a lot of trouble. It can be hard for runners to accept that maybe a plan needs to be tweaked a bit on a certain day, or even the whole plan has to be fine-tuned. Each of us is different, and a one-size-fits-all plan that we find on the internet may not work quite the same for everyone. Adjusting isn't just a hot weather issue either. Cold weather, fatigue, starting to feel an injury coming on. There are many reasons why blindly following whatever plan we are using can be detrimental. If you think you may need to tweak something, and it's hard for you to do that when you know what pace or mileage you're supposed to be doing, go ahead and leave your watch at home. If you use your phone to track, you just don't turn the app on. Just go by feel. Stop and walk when you need to. Go whatever pace feels good, and don't sweat it. If your body is telling you you need an extra rest day, take it. If your program has you running 5 days a week and that is feeling like too much, eliminate one of the days. Those who do that early on can usually get back to the plan in a few days. Those who ignore the red flags that are telling them to take it easy, that can end up with bad injuries that take them out of the game for weeks or even months. Dave is someone who also likes to do what the plan says, and even though I write his plan, he still wants to check that box off. So what I'll do is Hi Pop-Tart, I've got my grand dog here today. What I like to do if either one of us needs to adjust a plan is have a range instead of an absolute. So if we're supposed to run 5 miles and it's a day after a longer run, then we had to chase grandchildren around or we walked all over the city on a beautiful evening, I may say, okay, we're going to do between 3 and 5 miles today. Whichever it ends up being is fine. So some days 3 and done is good. Other days, we end up doing the whole 5. But whatever the outcome, whether we did the 3 or the 5, it was a successful run because we had that range. So if you aren't feeling great on a run day, you can postpone it until the following day and take an extra rest. There have been times when I have had to postpone a longer run to a different day because of weather or whatever. And then the day after that was another scheduled run. So I've cut the mileage down on the second run, called it a recovery run, and then called it a day. If you are a new runner and you are interested in racing at all, the plan you use may need tweaking at the end of the training as well. One thing I have found as I get older, some of the plans have a more aggressive lead up to the race instead of a traditional taper. So if you find that to be true for you, don't be afraid to cut out mileage or drills during the last few weeks. As you get to know your running body, you'll be able to tell if a plan is too aggressive and if you need to rest your body more before a race in order to be fresh. Just remember, we gain running fitness during recovery, not during the run itself. So if you need that extra time, then take it. When it comes to adjusting our runs, sometimes we have to look at what we actually want to accomplish. Do we want to be able to say we ran each and every run, our training says exactly as stipulated, Or do we want to strive to meet our real goal, which we can't do if we are plagued with overtraining syndrome or injuries or being exhausted? Even if you never race, if your goal is just to run, it is better to keep the joy in it than to just exhaust ourselves or make it a chore. If you think you may need to adjust your training a bit and could use a little help, you can send me an email at sherry@wrinkledrunner.com and I'll try to help you out. Next week, we're going to be talking about cross-training and the benefits for you as a runner. So hit subscribe so you don't miss it. Besides this channel, I have a blog and a podcast, and I'll link to those in the description. Check those out and follow the newsletter link to subscribe to my once-a-month newsletter that comes out the first Saturday of every month. I share what I've been doing, I include some resources that I found of interest to runners, and I give you a quick snapshot of what's to come the next month. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the run.